to unapologetic atheism. Here, we reject the idea that religion deserves reverence simply because it's old, powerful, or popular. We believe religions are untrue and promote an inherently harmful denial of reality. Our mission is simple: to end religion's dominance over our lives and to end it now. Not someday, not when it's convenient, not when everyone feels ready, now. This is the anti-altar call, an opportunity to undedicate your life to Christ, reclaim your autonomy, and join a community of secular humanists committed to uplifting marginalized voices, defending science, and fighting for the genuine liberation of human beings everywhere. I'm Dr. J. Bundy, aka Pocket Locker 86, an evolutionary biologist, biological anthropologist, and educator currently teaching anthropology and sociology at the collegiate level. I'm a former Christian youth minister and program director from a family of 5 generations of ministers. A church drummer and audio engineer turned scientist, organizer, political strategist, and unapologetic truth teller. It used to be my job to preach the gospel to kids. Now it's my mission to share the good news that the irrational gods we were taught to fear and obey do not exist. If you're here to think freely, live boldly, and build a better world rooted in reality instead of mythology, welcome. This is unapologetic atheism. Let's lock in.
Ready for takeoff?
Zach. Whoa. Working hard on my stump, what's the problem? I ain't had shit to show, being modest. Now it's grams of the wax for my conscience. Bron James in LA, you're on college. I've been jumping on them planes like a hobby. Still moving with the pack like my partners. Took the John on them jets cause we wildin'. But the bowl is a party on the island, moment of silence. So good, get back to the topic. Grew up, it was me and Flocka. Grandma's and Big T, this my mama. I ain't even for the pain when my pots flip. Knew his name, that's it, never bothered. Mom said, you the man, son, you got this. Ever since I found a way to go and pop shit. Hold up, blaze through a whole zip. Took a seat at the table of my first flip. Days in red roof with my first whip. Split the money with the gang, never post pics. Seen a change in the game, had to coach it. Never let them take my wangs in the mold, bitch. Ever made in a month, nigga. Used to serve him at the minute, just the front, nigga. Goddamn. Had to grow up quick, I made my own rules. Had my first child, got it jumping with music. Can't really hang with nobody who losing. I thought by now that you would go and get it, but I could hardly see niggas this distant. Know you get cropped if you not in the picture. And I made that tag and went got a bag. Shots to the Henny and OG prescriptions, put rebel shit on the map. Took a leap from where I started at. Started ballin' now, I'm Chris Paul and Cats. Got him steady calling for the mold, but I'm on a roll, gotta call him back. And that's all fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. All carry-on items should now be stowed securely, either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. All aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas should now be clear. All electronic devices should now be turned off and stowed, as they may interfere with the aircraft's navigational and communication systems. Once airborne, we'll let you know when you may use approved electronic devices, but note that some items may not be used at any time during the flight. You'll find a list of approved devices in the in-flight information section.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Pocket Locker Podcast. I am your host with the most, all the way from the East Coast. And as always, good people, I am in airplane mode. Gang, let's just get right on into it with the get right, because we got serious things to talk about today. But we are on fucking mission and we are on fucking message, and let's be clear about what that message is. Christianity needs to go down with Trump. Yes, you're finally in the era of 2025. We now in the full light of just what an absolute shit show America has become, really, since Donald Trump came down that escalator. Finally, thanks to, I don't know, him threatening to execute his political opponents, being caught up in the world's largest pedophile ring in history. I don't know what it's going to take, but we can finally see the writing on the wall. Finally, MAGA's waking up and America First is leaving, and the Democrats are realizing capitulation has gotten them nothing but fucked up the ass. People are starting to realize Trump will not be in power forever. The end of the Trump regime is coming. I repeat, the end of the Trump regime is coming. How soon is it coming? I don't know how soon it's coming. Not soon enough, quite frankly, but the shit is fucking coming. And so the question is, where will you be when the shit goes down? And all I am saying is we need to get on message right the fuck now that Christianity needs to go down with Trump. Why? Because Christians put us in this situation. The Trump MAGA movement is a uniquely Christian fucking shit all over our faces is what it is. Okay? Please understand that most evangelical Christians in this motherfucker went on board with that shit. Okay? And most of the MAGA movement is motherfucking evangelical Christians. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about the liberal Christians and the progressive Christians and the good Christians and the nice Christians and the holy sacred Christians. I don't give a shit, because they couldn't stop any of it. They couldn't stop any of it. Where were they? They sat back and watched, because secretly they believed the same shit. And they were happy to see Christianity in power. And they were happy to let the right-wing evangelicals carry the fucking torch for the real shit. Okay? And look at the hell it has unleashed upon us. So I don't give a shit anymore how many friendly, smile in your face, fake ass motherfucking Christians you know. They're fake, 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 they're fake. Hang on, I'm looking for some new information. Hang on. I got some new information here for you. They're fake, they're fake, they're fake, they're fake, and they're fake. And I'm sick of it. We're done. Now let's look at this fucking man of God right here. Gang, hang on, before we do this, hang on. Cheers to y'all. I love y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all didn't deserve that. I'm not angry at y'all. Y'all are cool. Let me just hit this vape real quick. Motherfucking mode. I love y'all. Cheers to the gang. Hope y'all having a good weekend. Come on, alcohol, get up in here. All right, gang. Now listen to this fucking ratchet piece of trash.
Huge update on the Nigeria situation. 3 days ago, I made my video with Judd Saul warning about the terrorists in Nigeria and how the government's turning a blind eye to the slaughter of Christians.
Look how fucking giddy he is. Look how fucking excited he is. He didn't even bother to get dressed. He didn't bother to go into his fucking studio with all his fucking bullshit books behind him. I don't know, maybe he's on a walk, maybe he's camping, maybe he's on vacation. I don't really give a shit. But just could not wait to just to glow and to bloviate and to suck off the dear leader for attacking those niggers. Sorry, I mean Nigerians.
2 days later, Donald Trump does what we were asking for in the video, the first thing we asked for, which is to designate Nigeria as a nation of particular concern. This is an important thing legally speaking.
To designate Nigeria as a nation of particular concern. Please continue, Mike.
Allows the gears to turn in other directions as far as in our government. Then today we get a new announcement, and this is huge. I'm going to read it to you. This is what the president of the U.S. just said officially. He declares this to the Nigerian government. Let me read it to you. This levels things up. You'll hear the rhetoric. It's pretty intense. He says, if the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria. And
Hang the fuck up. The motherfuckers that are literally fucking Zionists, that have literally cheerleaded on fucking Israel this entire motherfucker. Go to Mike Winger's page and see how strongly he was coming out against Israel. Don't do that. I don't know why you would do that to yourself. You're gonna have to actually look at this man. It's fucking terrible. I went over there earlier. He ain't had shit to say about Epstein over there or none of that shit. But he is so giddy to have Nigeria labeled this way. And what was it? We will immediately cease all aid. If they don't do what? Stop killing Christians. Christians, you are fucking telling on yourselves. How many times did we fucking beg you to tell you, hey, could we stop sending aid to Israel? Hey, Israel's doing a genocide. They're shooting at the kids. They're bombing the hospitals. Y'all didn't give a fuck. Y'all didn't give a fuck. And right now in Nigeria, if you were so concerned about who's being killed in Nigeria, you'd be talking about the fact that most of the victims are fucking Muslims. But you don't care. You don't care about other people that are not Christian. You're literally telling us they're killing Christians. They have to be stopped at all costs. What about when they're killing Muslims? Oh, you can just keep sending them fucking bombs. Yeah, we don't. You could. Yeah. They're bombing hospitals. They're blowing up schools. They're murdering children. They're starving fucking women. Y'all are good with that. Y'all are totally good with that. And then here we have a situation where, again, in this instance, most of the victims are Muslim. And what are y'all on here saying? If y'all don't stop killing Christians, we're gonna cut that aid off right away, and let's get to I'm gonna let him get to the good part. It ain't the good part for me, but for him, he hasn't gotten to the best part. Oh yeah, no, because Donald Trump didn't pussyfoot around with this. He didn't tap dance. He didn't do his little electric slide around. I have concepts of a plan of. I have suggestions of a policy. I have ideas of legislation. No. He came out with a full-throated threat.
Very well. Go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing.
Into that now disgraced country of Nigeria.
To completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities, Trump wrote. It goes on. He says, I'm hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet. Just like
fast, vicious, and sweet. What kind of sentence is that?
Action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet. Just like the terrorist thugs.
Those words don't go fast, vicious, and sweet. What does that even describe?
Cherished Christians. Warning, the Nigerian government better move fast. Let me just say, the purpose of government is to be a terror to the wicked.
The purpose of government is to be a terror to the wicked. Mike Winger, you are performing verbal fellatio on your motherfucking YouTube channel, on air, preserved in perpetuity, of you sucking off the world's most powerful fucking PDF file. Fuck that. Pedophile. A fucking pedophile, Mike. Explain this shit to me, Mike. Explain this shit to me, Mike. You just said government is supposed to be a terror to the wicked. Motherfucker, you're licking the booty hole of the most evil motherfucker any of us have ever fucking dared to imagine, second only to the Christian God. The list of big bads in history is like Yahweh at the top, probably like Trump number 2, Hitler number 3, Idi Amin number 4. Like I don't fucking know. Pontius Pilate's on the list somewhere. I got like a thing going on. Maybe it's a little Discord notifications or something bloop 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 in my ear. All right. So what the fuck are you talking about? I'm so sick of this. Do you not understand that this man is a fucking Christian apologist? His fucking job is to make content for the people of God so they can feel fucking holy, so he could tell them how fucking smart they are. Christians, this is how stupid you are. These motherfuckers know you're dumb. They know you're dumb. They know you're too fucking stupid and too immoral to give a fucking shit about actual human beings dying, and all you care about is Christians. So they just gonna lie to you to get you all fucking excited, get your panties all up in a bunch, get you all types of wet and lubricated and ready to fucking do what? Invade an African country. Do y'all not see what the fuck is happening right now? They're literally using, they're killing all the Christians to justify threatening to fucking invade Nigeria, gang. Going in guns blazing. Christians, I'm done with y'all. Done. Go ahead. Go ahead and invade fucking Nigeria. Oh, I swear to... Whoo! Y'all, who... whatever fucking atheist content creators you are fucking watching that tell you all this, I don't care what you believe. I love Christianity. I think it's such a beautiful story. Oh my God, let's be like the best friends. Oh my God, Christians, I love it so much. I wish I could be a Christian. It's just so beautiful. The story's just so beautiful. The narrative's just so beautiful. Jesus is just so, his history is so amazing. He's just this amazing guy and he changed history. Oh my God, I love Jesus. I'm an atheist, but I love Jesus so much because his story is so fucking incredible. It's so beautiful. Y'all are fucking psychos. You all ought to be ashamed of yourself and fucking quit. You are not helping atheism. You are literally setting the world backwards. Fucking quit and get a real job.
And these terrorists should actually be killed. This is the moral and right thing to do. I'm not cringe to say it. As a Christian, I stand on scripture. I stand on God's word when I say those who are mass murdering should be killed. The government should go in with guns and kill them. That's the right thing for them to do.
The government should go in with guns and kill them because they're mass murdering Christians. Boy, it'd be a real shame if the government went in there and killed them all and they weren't murdering Christians. Or boy, it'd be really terrible if they went in there and attacked and did a war against the Nigerian state and it turned out that this was a terrorist group and I don't know, maybe the government of Nigeria isn't genociding Christians. That'd be a real shame. Hey, Christians, when do you think we should figure that out? Do you think we should figure that out now? Well, I'm going to give you a couple options. I don't want to just say now or later. Let me ask you, do you think Mike Winger should have figured that out before he made this video or after? I'll let you be the judge. Do you think we should determine if all this is really happening? Should we do that like before we start fear-mongering all over the internet about it? Or should we just go in guns blazing, as good old DJT would say? Wipe out the Nigerian government? And, let the historians figure out later if that was actually really going on to begin with or not. No, I don't know. No, what do you guys think?
They turn themselves in. We should take them through court and do due process and then kill them. But that's the appropriate and right thing. But this will hopefully create pressure. Let's see what happens next. I just want to update you guys.
Y'all gotta check out the premiere from yesterday with apostate sister, Patty. We had a great time over there on Patty's channel. But really, I said that it kind of reminded me of my streams with Michael. It was just like a real good conversation, and I felt like we just had a lot of good chemistry, and were able to really, just really get into it and just really talk to each other very openly, and really just share our ideas. And it felt very much like the vibe we always had on Michael's channel, where we just really had space to get into things. So we definitely we missed the shows, Mike. We hope you're doing well, and hope you find some time to get back on YouTube eventually.
Listen, it was your actions that helped lead to this. I believe that you guys helped push the ball forward. Now, people came before us. This is not like Mike did all this. No way, right? People have been working on this stuff for years. They really have. But I think that we helped grab the momentum that they
helped, y'all. We're
we
proud.
moved the ball forward.
We're so listen again. Let's think about what's happening. Christian apologist, man of God, guy who literally gets paid to be on the internet and lie about Jesus all day. Oh wait, I'm sorry. He also gets paid to sell books that lie about Jesus. Oh wait, hang on a second. He also gets paid to go on speaking tours to churches and lie about Jesus. He's real proud that the movement he started has literally resulted in the president of the United States threatening to go in and kill all the niggers. Sorry, Nigerians. I meant Nigerians. They definitely don't think of them that way. They totally, this has nothing to do with race. This is not racist. I shouldn't say that. They don't have anything against niggers. Sorry. Nigerians.
And you guys, we moved the ball forward. And this is what we've got going on right now. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, if you're a Muslim and you're watching this, I would encourage you to give your life to Jesus Christ, because you're thinking Islam's taking over the world. But what's really happening is Islam is taking over your soul, and it is taking you far from God. You've been lied to and lied to and lied to. And you need to open the Bible. You know, your book says that
because they're Islamic terrorists. Get it, gang? Islam has ruined them. Islam has basically just turned them into murderous people who just ignore the mass killing and genocide of people with different religious beliefs. Can't you guys tell how dangerous Islam is? Do you not get the message of how serious of a threat to humanity Islam is? Because Islam gets people to totally dehumanize people who think differently than them. Islam leads to terrorism. I don't understand why people don't get this. You gotta be a Christian, because Christianity tells you that if people don't believe like you do, wait, never mind. No, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Continue, Mike. Go ahead.
Trust what's in our scriptures. You read the Quran. It says that you should be trusting it. Now you're told by some, but it's been all corrupted. That's all bunk. None of it's true.
Read the Quran. It tells you should trust what's in the scriptures. Listen to Jesus. He told you should follow every law of the goddamn Old Testament, Mike. You want to play that fucking game, asshole? You want to play? Oh well, even the Muslims say Jesus is legit, so the Bible must be the. Yeah, Jesus also said you should follow every fucking jot and tittle of the Old Testament, my guy. That would mean the slavery parts, the genocide parts, the rapists marry their rapers part. Sorry, the rape survivors marry their rapist part. All the women as property part, all that shit. The don't use mixed fabrics. And it's funny, we're always told that it's a context thing, like God had to speak to them in their cultural context, so he couldn't tell them to stop owning people. But he told them to stop killing and stop stealing and stop lusting after each other's wives, and they totally did all of that. We can totally tell Christians just never lie, they never kill anybody, they never lust after anyone. That totally doesn't happen. I mean, all the shit in the Epstein files really goes to prove, doesn't it? Doesn't it just prove that all the great, powerful, white Christian men, all the people that love God and love Jesus in this country, because how many of those people in them fucking files would say that they're fucking Christians? And how many of them are totally fucking lockstep with even the Democrats, right? How many of them would tell us how fucking Christian they are? You fucking gross human beings. You absolute pieces of shit. Totally fucking disgusting.
We're just asking you, open your mind.
Open your
Read
mind.
the book for yourself. Don't be afraid of what you'll find there, because you know that your fellow Muslims may turn against you. But you got to follow God no matter what. No matter
Yes,
what the
and read the fucking book and understand that the book says a white man, some wizard created the sky in 6 days. It really wasn't a white man, but y'all assume it was a white man because you're not racist or anything. You literally just took a fucking Middle Eastern god out of the goddamn desert and made it some fucking white guy that looks like the fucking basis for ZZ Top, because that's not racism at all. And then literally whitewash Jesus. But you know. You guys are so just read the book. The book says that fucking virgins get pregnant, that snakes talk, some real weird shit about donkeys and zebras, Jesus chasing demons out of pigs by making them run off a cliff, God drowning the planet and then promising to do it the next time by fire. Yeah, I agree. This is one thing me and Mike agree about. Y'all motherfuckers need to read the book. But Mike thinks you are so fucking stupid. First off, he knows you're not going to read the book. Because let's face it, you're dumb, you're fucking lazy. And if you actually had a decent secular fucking education and thought for yourself, you wouldn't be a fucking Christian. So let's keep it real. Being a Christian literally means you are refusing to acknowledge any fucking reality outside of your own fucking faith claim. So he knows that you're so fucking useless and so emotionally dependent on these fucking fairy tales that he thinks that, first off, there's next to no chance you're going to actually read the Bible. Y'all don't read the fucking Bible, because if you read the fucking Bible, you'd have to actually read the fucking Bible and see what's in the Bible. But he thinks you're so fucking dumb that on the off chance that you actually do read that Bible, that you are so emotionally stunted as a human being that you will play these fucking mind and word games with yourself, and you will just quickly skip through, read over, and otherwise ignore the passages in that book that absolutely make no sense. And even worse, the ones that are absolutely fucking evil, like, again, your pathetic fucking God drowning everything on the goddamn planet, and you pretending that a rainbow is a motherfucking sign of his love, because that's how stupid religious leaders think religious believers actually are. Can we fucking talk about it for once? They think you are so fucking dumb and so emotionally stunted that you will, number one, not read the Bible because you already know it's full of shit. And on the off chance you do, you will just cope and cope and cope and cope and cope and cope and cope because you are a goddamn baby. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the religious leaders that you keep supporting, whose books you keep buying, whose speaking engagements you keep buying tickets for, and who you keep calling holy men of God. They're the ones who think you're that dumb. Now, let me take you, switching lanes, let me just take you real quick over to reality. Actually, before we do that, gang, I got to show y'all. We got a new fucking ad on the channel. So let's hit the ad break real quick, and then we're going to jump into the fucking reporting. I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's broadcast. Us. That's right, motherfuckers. This shit right here is real, independent, secular media. We have no sponsors, no advertisers, and we sure as hell don't have billionaire backers. We don't think billionaires should exist, so they don't call, and even if they did, we wouldn't answer. Let's keep it all the way real. We are not popular. Conservatives don't like us because we tell the truth. Liberals don't like us because we tell the truth. Believers don't like us because we tell the truth. And honestly, even most atheists don't like us because we tell the truth. So if you want to support a channel that's actually independent, not corporate branded, not billionaire funded, not algorithm approved, you can do it completely for free. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share the content far and wide. Put other creators on to what we do. Tell them to check out the channel, encourage them to collaborate, or maybe even debate live with the community. And if you want to help keep the lights on or dream with us about a future where we can do this full time, you can drop a few ducats through Ko-Fi or become a member. Most importantly, stay connected with the movement. Join our Discord and pull up to our live headquarters Inside Work Adventure. All those links are in the description. This isn't passive entertainment. This is a takeover. We are taking over the internet. We are taking over the internet, motherfuckers. Thanks to all of y'all who've been fucking supporting us and sustaining us over the years. We love y'all, and onward and upward. All right, let me read this to y'all. It's a response. It's literally called No Bill Maher. There is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. It could have also been addressed to Mike Winger, but our favorite, least favorite atheist, Bill Maher, has also been sitting on the same bullshit. Also, shout out to the boy Uncle Bobby. Uncle Bobby, the people miss you. They love you, and they missed the blackout. They want us to get back together and start doing some live shows again. So let me know if you're down to do that. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and read this to y'all for those of you that either are busy, occupied, or otherwise don't want to read along. All right. So in recent days, coordinated attacks on Nigeria's nationhood have swept across social media, blogs, and television outlets alleging a so-called quote-unquote Christian genocide. These attacks, driven by foreign actors, mischaracterize Nigeria's domestic conflicts, ignore its complexities, and manipulate long-standing ethnic and resource-based tensions to advance sectarian agendas. One of the figures driving this propaganda is American comedian, television host Bill Maher, who uses his show to deliver a sensationalized account alleging the systematic slaughter of Christians in Nigeria. I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. These are the Islamist Boko Haram, he says. There is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. His sources are largely fabricated claims and manipulated images from unverified outlets. These distorted narratives drew applause from his audience, while Fox News, true to form, amplified them. This misinformation, aimed at maligning Nigeria as much as undermining the gravity of the situation in Gaza, is linked to Nigeria's position at the 2025 United Nations General Assembly. By reaffirming support for a two-state solution to the Palestinian conflict, Nigeria challenged powerful interests invested in one-sided narratives. Delivering the statement on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on September 24th, Vice President Kashim Shettima stressed Nigeria spoke for peace, not partisanship. He framed Nigeria's stance through its history as a nation that survived civil war and deep tensions, observing that, quote, such bitter experience has taught us that such violence never ends where it begins. He also drew on Nigeria's struggle with violent extremism to argue that, quote, military tactics may win battles measured in months or years, but in wars that span generations, it is values and ideas that deliver the ultimate victory. The mischief makers who claim Nigeria ignored its own pressing challenges simply because Palestine was mentioned in only one of the 25 paragraphs could not have built their case on a shakier foundation. Nigeria's statement was structured around four clear priorities: a demand for a permanent Nigerian seat on the UN Security Council as part of broader institutional reform, a call for urgent action on sovereign debt relief, and expanded access to trade and finance, an insistence that host countries of critical minerals should benefit fairly, and an appeal to close the digital divide, echoing the Secretary General's reminder that AI must stand for Africa included. These points, along with the cautionary lessons shared, were twisted by those urging Nigeria to ignore the violence in Gaza and elsewhere. This is blackmail and trivializes the genocide in Gaza. Citizens of afflicted nations may choose to ignore conflicts abroad, but state actors cannot. Nigeria, as a UN member state, bears the cost of violence in other regions, having participated in 51 out of 60 UN peacekeeping operations since its independence in 1960. Every country at the UN faces domestic challenges, yet many stood firmly with the people of Palestine. In acknowledging this, Nigeria offered one of the Assembly's deepest truths, declaring that, quote, none of us is safe until all of us are safe, and reminding the world that, quote, none of us can achieve a peaceful world in isolation. Claims of a religious war between Muslims and Christians in Nigeria are simplistic and betray ignorance of the country's internal dynamics. Over the decades, both Muslim and Christian communities have at times alleged quote-unquote genocide during crises. For instance, Muslim leaders claim genocide in clashes around Jos in Plateau State, while some Christian leaders accuse Muslims of campaigns against Christians in the north central region, often called the Middle Belt, to resist being categorized as part of the Muslim majority North. These mutual accusations show the term genocide has often been invoked without credible evidence, inflaming tensions. In reality, Nigeria's conflicts are multifaceted, driven by ethnic rivalries, land disputes, and criminality, with religion often secondary. Boko Haram, which emerged in Maiduguri, Borno State in 2009, positioned itself against the Nigerian state as an apostate entity, not against any single religious group. Most of its victims have been Muslims. I repeat, most of its victims have been Muslims. One more time for the people in the back, most of its victims have been Muslims. Similarly, banditry in northern Nigeria often pits Fulani herders against Wasa communities, both predominantly Muslim, a stark example of Muslim-on-Muslim violence. This broader context is crucial to dismantling the oversimplified narrative of one-sided persecution. Every region in Nigeria has both Christians and Muslims living side by side, and conflicts typically unfold along community or regional lines rather than strictly religious ones. Even during severe unrest, such as the Nigerian Civil War of 1967 and 1970, the violence did not amount to an organized genocide of one faith by the other, but was rooted in political and socioeconomic grievances. Nigeria was then led by General Yakubu Gowon, a Christian, with Vice Admiral Joseph Edet Akinwale, also a Christian, as deputy, making it impossible to frame the war as a campaign of the Muslim North against the Christian Southeast, because again, their military leaders were Christian. The same holds true in later communal unrest, such as the Plateau riots, driven by competing identities and resources rather than religious extermination. To present these conflicts, as Bill Maher does, as evidence of a Christian genocide, erases the realities and distorts Nigeria's history. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu inherited a country that has faced brutal Islamist insurgencies led by Boko Haram and its offshoot, Islamic State, West Africa Province, for more than a decade. While Western media often highlight attacks on churches and Christian communities, the reality is that these terrorists are indiscriminate in their violence. Most of Boko Haram's victims have been Muslims, despite the group's hostility to Christians. Operating mainly in the predominantly Muslim Northeast, Boko Haram has slaughtered thousands of Muslims, including clerics, village heads, and civilians it deems apostates or opponents. The real danger lies in media outlets portraying Boko Haram, a group despised by both Muslims and Christians, as representative of Islam. Boko Haram, along with ISWAP and bandit groups, treat anyone who opposes them as an enemy, regardless of faith. They have bombed mosques, assassinated Muslim leaders, and killed Christians, demonstrating their indiscriminate violence. To characterize this as a strictly anti-Christian campaign is propaganda. I repeat, to characterize this as a strictly anti-Christian campaign is propaganda. One more time for the people who are just waking up from a deep, well-earned weed coma. Congratulations. To characterize this as a strictly anti-Christian campaign is propaganda. While Christians have undeniably suffered horrific attacks, incidents of explicitly religious violence constitute only a fraction of Nigeria's homicides, and direct interfaith confrontations are relatively rare. Framing Nigeria's violence as Muslims killing Christians grossly misrepresents the situation. Worse still, some outside groups have published inflated statistics of Christian deaths without credible methodology, often counting every victim in certain regions as Christians by default or conflating deaths regardless of motive. Such dubious claims, pushed by the likes of Bill Maher, obscure the truth and trivialize the complexity of Nigeria's conflicts. A significant portion of the violence mischaracterized as religious persecution stems from long-standing herder-farmer clashes in the Middle Belt, driven by competition over land and water, population pressures, and climate change. The Fulani herders are mostly Muslim, while the farmers come from diverse groups, many Christian. This demographic divide can create the illusion of a religious war, but at its roots are disputes over resources. Both sides have been perpetrators and victims. Since 2023, President Tinubu's administration has prioritized tackling overlapping crises, from Boko Haram in the northeast to banditry in the northwest, farmer-herder clashes nationwide, and indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, violence in the southeast. Through operations such as Hadin Kai, Forest Sanity, and Delta Safe, Nigeria has recorded major gains. Over 13,500 terrorists neutralized, 124,000 fighters and family members surrendered, and 11,000 weapons and 252,000 rounds of ammunition destroyed in the Northeast. Networks including Ali, Kachala, Halilu, Sabubu, and Isuhu Yellow dismantled in the Northwest, and a return to normal life in the Southeast as sit at home or orders fade. Attacks on security forces decline, and more than 50 police stations rebuilt. National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu confirmed these advances, noting terrorism-related deaths have fallen from 2,600 a month before May 2023 to fewer than 200 today. Another factor that undermines the claim of Christian genocide is the religious diversity of Nigeria's security leadership. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, is a Christian from southern Kaduna. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatubosin Oliade, is also a Christian. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ekuchukwu Agala, is Christian. The Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Emmanuel Ondiandaide, is Christian. The Director General of State Security Service, Adiola Ajayi, is Christian. The Inspector General of Police, Coyote Egbetokun, is Christian. The Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Sylvester Nuwachukwuch, is Christian. The Comptroller General of Immigration, Kemi Nandop, is Christian. The roll cake makes clear the absurdity of portraying Nigeria's security establishment as complicit in a so-called Christian genocide when all the leadership is clearly Christian. And I do apologize because I'm sure I butchered many of those names, but I did want to, out of respect, give them the good old college try. And I hope it's very clear to people that not only historically has much of Nigeria's defense leadership been Christian, the current leadership of its security ministry is Christian. And by the way, since we're talking about Nigeria, a shout out to our good friend of the channel, Esther, over at the Afro Atheist. Please head over to the Afro Atheist and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. Esther does a wonderful job of really discussing the sort of cultural erasure that's going on with all of the missionary zeal and Christianity doing its best to take over Nigeria, and just how destructive it is to the people and the culture. And so I think it's like a whole nother issue to really address just how much of Nigeria's official state leadership is Christian. I'm sure we could problematize that in a different broadcast. And again, I'd want to have somebody like Esther probably doing something like that with me. But nevertheless, it clearly demonstrates that there are serious problems with this narrative that the state of Nigeria is somehow like an African wing of the Islamic State and is engaged in a genocide of Christians. It's just bullshit. Let's continue reading. The facts dismantle the false narrative of a Christian genocide in Nigeria. Christians have suffered tragic losses, but so have Muslims, and often on an even greater scale. This is the story President Tinubu is rewriting. Nowhere is there an official policy or plan to eradicate Christians. Nigeria's conflicts are grim and complex, but they center on terrorism, crime, and communal disputes, not religion. Terror groups kill opportunistically, striking churches, mosques, markets, and villages alike. As the Tinubu-led government has stressed, no Nigerian is targeted by the state because of their faith. In fact, the very notion of a state-sanctioned quote-unquote Christian genocide collapses when one recalls that Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, is herself a Christian, an ordained pastor and a lifelong advocate of interfaith causes. These are the nuances of Nigeria's realities that foreign media mercenaries eager to stoke ethno-religious divisions fail to grasp or deliberately ignore. More like the latter, we know they are deliberately ignoring this. Propaganda to the contrary is not only false but dangerous. It risks deepening divisions when unity is most needed. The truth affirmed by data is that religiously motivated killings account for only a small fraction of Nigeria's violence, and many so-called religious attacks are entangled with ethnic and resource-based conflicts. Understanding this nuance is essential. It enables Nigerians and the international community to support holistic solutions that strengthen security, promote dialogue, and drive development, rather than being misled by simplistic framings of Muslims versus Christians. Nigeria's armed forces, led by both Christians and Muslims, stand united in defense of all Nigerians against terror. All right? Now, let's go back and once again hear this almost 3-minute spew of hatred and fucking pro-war nonsense from Mike Winger. And every single fucking Christian out there that listens to this piece of shit and other pieces of shit like him, I want your dumb ass held to account. Like I said, this is the anti-altar call, and I suggest you fucking take it. This is the opportunity to undedicate your life to Christ. And if your life is dedicated to Christ, you need to do so immediately. Or else you are complicit in this. You are allowing people to use the label, the title, and the institutional authority of Christianity to stoke violence against an African nation based on a false narrative that Christians are being killed, all the while continuing to support a genocidal regime in the visage of the nation of fucking Israel. Christians, hear me out, to the point that if you go to many state houses, I have seen this for myself with my own eyes in the state house for the state of Michigan, in the office of the Secretary of State for the state of Michigan. Go to the office right now, I bet you it's still that way. Go to your local government. Go to your fucking state house. Get your ass in your fucking car and travel across your fucking state and go to the state capitol and go into the offices of the highest ranking government officials in your state government. And I guarantee you will find a fucking Israeli flag sitting right next to the American flag. Now get the fuck out of my face talking about you care about genocide. You are stoking genocide, and you're using the fact that you know people only care about the death of Christians to stoke your government, to gaslight your government into invading a foreign country. Going in, guns blazing, doing what? Then committing a real genocide. Another genocide funded by American taxpayers. That's what the fuck is on the horizon. But y'all want to keep acting like Christianity is cute. Listen to this shit again.
Huge update on the Nigeria situation. 3 days ago, I made my video with Judd Saul warning about the terrorists in Nigeria and how the government's turning a blind eye to the slaughter of Christians. 2 days later, Donald Trump does what we were asking for in the video, the first thing we asked for, which is to designate Nigeria as a nation of particular concern. This is an important thing legally speaking. It allows...
Yeah, Nigeria is a nation of particular fucking concern. I'm particularly fucking concerned for them. And I am particularly fucking aligning with them in their fucking efforts to at once deal with their shit internally, which we are not fucking doing. Let's be clear. It sounds like Nigeria recognized that it has some serious motherfucking problems and they're trying to address that shit. America's got some serious fucking problems and we're sending the government home on vacation early so we don't have to deal with the fucking pedophiles at the highest positions of power. See the difference? And I am concerned about Nigeria because they put a target on their fucking back by doing the right thing and standing up for Gaza and not letting the fact that they have a mess in their own home as an excuse to not do what needed to be done on the world stage, to not meet the fucking moment. And I cannot say the same goddamn thing about my country as an American. Please go fuck yourselves.
Gears to turn in other directions as far as in our government. Then today we get a new announcement, and this is huge. I'm going to read it to you. This is what the president of the U.S. just said officially. He declares this to the Nigerian government. Let me read it to you. This levels things up. You'll hear the rhetoric.
This levels things up. Gang, we're not making it up. They're saying the shit on camera in their own goddamn words and English words that we can understand. They're leveling it up. Giddy. He is so excited to gaslight the president into sending in the fucking military. And you know they know this is all bullshit.
It's pretty intense. He says, if the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country guns a-blazing to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are... But when we say stop sending aid to fucking Israel, we're told that we are fucking terrorists, that we are pro fucking Hamas and all this shit. Nigga, I don't know anybody in Hamas. I don't know anybody that is a fan of. Most of the people I know don't really even know a goddamn thing about Hamas. We couldn't tell you the first thing about Hamas. What we know is we don't like seeing kids get shot at. We don't like hospitals being bombed, and we think Palestinians who live in Palestine should be able to live peacefully in Palestine. They should have their own fucking sovereign government and state, probably called Palestine. I don't know. Ask them. To be honest, maybe it shouldn't be called Palestine. They might call themselves something different. Whatever the fuck they call themselves and they think they fucking nation should be called, that's what the fuck I think it should be called. Okay? So, yeah, that's our concern. But when we said that, y'all didn't want to hear none of it. You called us terrorist and communist and anti-American and all of this type of bullshit. But when you can sell some black people, when you can say those Nigerians are killing Christians, all of a sudden, and it's so funny because we talk about y'all like this. It's so funny, gang. We talk about y'all like this. Christians, hear me closely, Christians. We talk about y'all like this. Understand that. Understand when January the fucking 6th happened, motherfuckers. Please understand when January the 6th fucking happened. Let me understand. Let me explain to you how this shit really played out in a black family. Okay? How did I learn about January 6th? Gang, y'all know I don't get up early. I'm not a fucking morning person. Do you know when I get up early? You have to pay me like a fucking university. You got to say, Jason, we need you to teach this class, and you got to be here at like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. You have to pay me to get out of bed early in the morning. So y'all know I'm in bed late chilling. Right? My dad hits me up, son, do you know what's going on right now? You got to turn on your TV.
You got to turn your TV right now. They're going crazy. I don't know. Trump sent his people. They're storming the Capitol, like the whole nine, right? And so I'm like, Dad, what? Right? So I turn on the TV. I start watching. I'm like, this shit is crazy. First thing out of my dad's mouth, some black people would have never got. This is the only thing black people had to say to each other about January 6th was that could never have been black people. That is the only thing black people have to say about January 6th. Never in a million years could some black people have gotten away with that. And we're not talking about, we would have been arrested or blocked from getting into the Capitol or prosecuted at a later. No. We're talking they would have gone in with Donald Trump's favorite expression, guns a-blazing, and it had just been a massacre. It had just been black bodies all over the streets. You'd have been able to, it'd have been like that one genocide, and they'd been like, oh, look, you can see the blood stains from outer space. Like, it would have been like that. It would have been a blood stains from outer space type of situation, okay? And then some like mass, it wouldn't even be a mass grave. They would literally like just burn our bodies and throw them in the ocean and create like an anti-Negro memorial to always remember that moment by. And probably black people would lose the right to vote, and like, I don't know, there'd be like mass lynchings of black people who had nothing to do with it just because they were black. Tell me I'm lying. But it was all right, because it was all white. And so all of a sudden people didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to say. They were so misguided. They were good Christians. Y'all were outside doing a motherfucking insurrection, singing worship songs. Y'all turned the shit. Y'all were singing actual worship songs to motherfucking Jesus while your homies were screaming, hang Mike Pence. Christians, I'm so done with you. I'm so over it. So, it's funny. Like, think about Diddy. Diddy gets arrested, did terrible, horrible things. Everybody knows the motherfucker should be buried under the motherfucking jail. Donnie gets convicted of 36 felonies. Sorry, Mr. Trump. You have a good day. I'm really sorry that we bothered you with this whole trial thing. Good luck on your campaign. We talk about you like this, Christians. We know that we can put you in a hypothetical situation, take out the primary white actor, insert a primary black actor, and all of a sudden, you know exactly what to do. All of a sudden, you find a fucking conscience, a morality, you want fucking justice, there must be law and order, people have to pay for their crimes. Take the black person out, put white Christian in, all of a sudden, well, I don't know. Well, Israel does have the right to defend itself. Well, I mean, if there wasn't a state of Israel for the Jewish people, we'd have to create a state of Israel for the Jewish people. And so here it is. It is so perfectly encapsulated. Literally, the Netanyahu-led genocide, y'all are stupid. Y'all don't know what to do. Like, y'all don't know. We can't stop sending them aid. We can't boycott them. You literally are snatching college kids off the streets for saying stop murdering Palestinian children. Snatching college kids off the streets. But then y'all just hear a fucking rumor that a black country has Christians dying, and y'all are ready to go to war and immediately cease all aid. We talk about you like this, Christians. This is how fucking predictable you are. And then you do it for us. He literally, like if he didn't make this video, we would make a joke to say he would make a video like this, but he made it. Jesus Christ, this is crazy.
Committing these horrible atrocities, Trump wrote. It goes on. He says, I'm hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attacked our cherished Christians.
Oh,
Warning.
shit, hang on, gotta plug my man's new Cameron Bennett drop. Check that out. I need to check that out. My ass needs to get in motherfucking shape. I need to get on that Cameron Bennett playing fast. But yeah, man, Cameron is always holding it down. And I gotta say, like, we sleep on the talent in this community. Check out Cameron Bennett's video. Cameron isn't just a personal trainer and like a fitness person. Cameron Bennett is really, really good. Like really, really good. Super focused, super locked in, incredible workouts. And has really actually helped some people in the community too. So appreciate that drop, YouTube punk.
The Nigerian government better move fast. Let me just say, the purpose of government is to be a terror to the wicked.
What
and
up,
these
what
terrorists
up,
should
Hillwood?
actually be killed. This is the moral and right thing to do. I'm not cringe to say it. As a Christian, I stand on scripture. I stand on God's word when I say those who are mass
I
murdering.
stand on scripture. I stand on God's word. I literally just feel like in our current culture, it's like whenever somebody just needs to do or say something really, really shitty, they just throw their religion out there first. Like that, we have to start to really talk about this like social scientists. Like we have to really tap into the tremendous knowledge, scientific knowledge we have of human social behavior. We recognize behavior like this, right? There's a way that people use these things as almost, we call them apologists, but they're almost like apologies. Like, hey, I'm sorry to say this. And they know they have to say something deeply fucking troubled, right? And so it's, I'm standing on scripture. I'm standing on Jesus. I'm doing this as a Christian. And that's literally supposed to be the shield to say, now you can't attack me. Now you can't come. Christians, you have to see how your religion is being used. And it can only continue to be used like this because it's not true, and you're so delusional and so emotionally dependent on it that it doesn't matter that it's not true, and it doesn't matter that it's fucking bullshit, and it doesn't matter that it's fucking evil. So then the worst motherfuckers get to use it. If you demanded truth, if you demanded evidence, if you were reasonable, if you would stand on business for humanity, they wouldn't be able to get away with this. They're not screwing us over. We don't believe their shit. I'm not giving 10% of my income to the church. If a preacher comes to my door and tell him to get the fuck out of my fucking, nobody asked him to come here. He's not invited. I'm not going to invite him in. I don't ever not fuck because of what religion says. I don't ever not jerk off at night because I'm worried about what Jesus thinks. I don't ever not have a drink or not hit the weed because I give a fuck what a fucking God has to say about it. You are the motherfucker that is ordering your steps in the word. Y'all don't think I know that expression? Please order my steps in your word. I know all the songs. I used to be a fucking worship musician. So y'all are the ones paying the price to go along with this bullshit. Meanwhile, you're literally being taken advantage of by the worst motherfuckers on the planet, and they're sucking you in to being complicit in the worst motherfucking shit on the planet. That's why we're done with Christianity. We're literally done with it because the world has seen that it does not produce good moral behavior. We've seen it. We have the scientific evidence. We have the proof. We're watching the fucking proof. When are you gonna see the goddamn proof?
Should be killed. The government should go in with guns and kill them. That's the right thing for them to do. Now, if they turn themselves in, we should take them through court and do due process and then kill them. But that's the appropriate and right thing. But this will hopefully create pressure. Let's see what happens next. I just want to update you guys because, listen, it was your actions that helped lead to this. I believe that you guys helped push the ball forward. Now, people came before us. This is not like Mike did all this. No way, right? People have been working on this stuff for years. They really have. But I think that we helped grab the momentum that they created and we moved the ball forward. We, meaning like Judd Saul and you guys, we moved the ball forward. And this is what we've got going on right now. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, if you're a Muslim and you're watching this, I would encourage you to give your life to Jesus Christ because you're thinking Islam's taking over.
And look at that, in the middle of a fucking plea for the government to invade another sovereign country, as he erroneously fearmongers about a genocide against Christian, he makes this plea for you to dedicate your life to Christ. See, this is why we have to take this shit so seriously. This is why we have to be so fucking for real in 2025. And I am so serious. Like, I want to allow a little bit of grace. And let me be clear about what that little bit of grace is. We're here to influence our community. We're here to change tone. And we do want people to hear us and align with us and move in a new direction. But please understand that I think so much of this atheist space is fucking dead and fucking useless because it is filled with content creators who have no fucking clue what they're talking about and no idea what it means to create real change in the world. And honestly, most of them are super comfortable white dudes who are grifting off of YouTube, who are making way too much money and getting way too much positive attention and influence, not really going out in the world and fucking doing anything. And so they're totally comfortable because to them, this is just an opinion game. It's just, they're literally in the business of like coming online and having the right opinion. And the right opinion isn't even the correct opinion. The right opinion is the opinion that pops the algorithm. The right opinion is the one that makes people feel good and hit super chat and send YouTube memberships and hit the like button. Okay, so what you've been seduced into is an atheism that is comfortable with Christianity because you have been seduced by atheist content creators who are really trying to align themselves with the far right because that's where they see the opportunities. So you have atheist content creators who are really, while they should be like passionately advocating for like a more secular world and trying to end fucking religion, they're really actually trying to get on Piers Morgan and invited onto the Joe Rogan podcast. And so as a result of that, they are complicit. They are happy to have debates and sit down and they're basically like the Pine Creek Poker Club. Like they're basically like they want to play fucking poker with the Nazis and then like come back and tell us that like somehow them playing poker with the Nazis is like gonna help make the world a better place. Fuck all that bullshit. Tell them to stick it where the fucking sun don't shine. And tell them, like I tell them, to quit while they're ahead, or more accurately, quit while they're behind, and to get real jobs. Because like we really have to have people who understand that this religion should not be tolerated any longer. That we have seen far too much for far too long, and it's time to end this shit. And if you're not on board with ending this shit, literally quit and get a real job.
But what's really happening is Islam is taking over your soul, and it is taking you far from God. You've been lied to and lied to and lied to. And you need to open the Bible. You know, your book says that you should trust what's in our scriptures. You read the Quran. It says that you should be trusting it. Now you're told by some, but it's been all corrupted. That's
dummy. And again, like Christians, this is how dumb he thinks. I want you to hear this, Christians. Hear it again. Hear it clearly.
Far from God. You've been lied to and lied to. And you need to open the Bible. You know, your book says that you should trust what's in our scriptures.
Your book says you should trust what's in our scriptures. Christian, Mike Winger thinks you are so dumb that you are literally willing to believe. Like, yes, does the Quran say that Jesus was a prophet and like he's recognized as the holy man or whatever in Islam? Sure. Okay. Again, the same way Moses and Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and David and Solomon and all of the full cast of characters from the Old Testament that are the cast of characters for Judaism also feature prominently in Christianity, right? And your savior, Christian Jesus, said himself, not one jot or tittle of the law shall be broken. Now, does that mean you actually think as a Christian that Jesus and the Holy Bible actually preaches that Judaism is legit and really, you shouldn't really be a Christian, you should be a Jew? Like, you shouldn't be like, yes, it's the Christian Bible, I know, and as the Christian Bible, it's the foundation of the Christian faith. But if you really read it closely, what it's really saying is actually the cast of characters from the Old Testament is legit. Jesus says not one jot or tittle of the law shall be broken. So Jesus is clearly elevating the Mosaic law. Therefore, ergo, the Christian Bible actually says you should be a Jew. Christian, did you go for that? Did you buy that? Oh, you didn't buy that? Because this motherfucker, Mike Winger, and everybody else who says that bullshit to you thinks you are so dumb that you think the holy book of Islam actually says you should just believe the Christian Bible. Yeah, no. If you read the fucking if you read the Quran properly, okay, I don't know what all these millions and billions of Muslims all over the world are doing. I don't know what the fuck. We have entire Islamic countries. We have entire Islamic states. So some of these Islamic nations are literally some of the wealthiest in the fucking planet, but they're reading their shit all the way wrong. Because if you read that shit closely, yeah, really, the Islamic scripture, nah, it tells you the Holy Bible's where it's at. Are you that stupid? Are you that? No, because gang, it's not me. It's not me. Mike Winger really thinks they're that dumb. Listen to him say it again.
And it is taking you far from God. You've been lied to and lied to and lied to. And you need to open the Bible. You know, your book says that you should trust what's in our scriptures. So you read the Quran. It says that you should be trusting it. Now,
read the Quran. The Quran says you should be trusting. Yo, Mike Winger thinks you are so dumb.
You're told by some, but it's been all corrupted. That's all bunk. None of it's true. We're just asking you, open your mind, read the book for yourself. Don't be afraid of what you'll find there, because you know that your fellow Muslims may turn against you. But listen, you should read the book. You should read the book, but you should be very afraid what you're going to find there, because you're going to find some ridiculous shit. First off, you're going to realize it's a fairy tale. You're going to realize it's an actual fucking fairy tale with magical shit that could not have happened. Second of all, you're going to realize it's flat out not true, that it is just filled with lies and inaccuracies on top of lies and inaccuracies and contradictions. And then when you're done with that, you're going to realize that not only is it a fairy tale, not only is it untrue and full of shit, that the actual God character that you have been claiming to be love and just and merciful and oh my God, he's so wonderful, is actually the biggest fucking asshole in all of fiction. That yes, he drowned the whole planet. Christians, that's not love. Just get over it. Just accept it. Your God drowned everything because he's a fucking asshole. He then promised he was going to do it again. Please tell me that if somebody came down right now from the sky and set the planet on fire, we would praise them and tell them they're the good guy. Again, how stupid are you? Tell me how stupid you really are. Please tell me how stupid you really are. Tell me that God works in mysterious ways, so him burning the planet makes sense to you as an act of love because he's just that mysterious. Tell me you are that stupid, please. And then I'm going to ask you the same thing. Just don't participate in democracy. That's all I ask. I don't want to come after your rights. If you have a job, if you are that stupid and you've been able to hold down gainful employment, if you have a fucking family and you somehow like have a functioning marriage and like children, but if you are that dumb, please don't vote. That's all. It's just a personal request. I'm not trying to rewrite the laws. I'm not gonna call my senator and ask them to like introduce a bill that says dummies don't vote. I don't think we should have a literacy test or an IQ test. I'm not supporting any of those policies. I just think you should self-select. I just think you personally should realize I'm a dumb motherfucker. I literally just said that if God burned the whole planet, that would be love and just. I shouldn't vote. You see what I'm saying? I just want you to volunteer. I just want you to volunteer to not vote. That's all I'm asking. Okay? Okay. So once you realize, as we say, it's a fairy tale. Number 2, it's not true. Number 3, God's motherfucking evil. Then hopefully you can feel free. You come back to this channel. You come to us. That is why we're here. That is what the altar call exists for. It is time to undedicate your life to Christ. Gang, these religions are harmful. They're not true. And they're stupid. And we need to raise the bar. We need to expect and demand better of humanity and let our fellow humans know this shit is not okay. We can do better. We should do better. And if we get together, we will do better. All right, y'all, I got to get up out of here. We will be back tomorrow for Hot Program. Thank y'all all so much for tuning in. I hope y'all are feeling the new vibe and direction. This is, I think, who we are. I've been very frustrated with a lot of the rhetoric and dialogue going on in atheist spaces. I think the whole new atheism thing has just been twisted and manipulated
and become useless and unrecognizable. And like I said, they were all a bunch of right-wing neocons. This whole analytical atheist thing with Alex O'Connor and genetically modified skeptic and all, I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. I'm done with everybody talking about how beautiful Christianity is, how culturally Christian they are, how much they love Christians, how much they think Christianity's. I'm fucking done. I'm done. If you are a fucking atheist and you consider yourself a fucking leader and you're trying to make moves, you better make fucking motion. If you were trying to make moves, you better make fucking motion. You better be getting it fucking done. And all of this passive, oh, we're afraid of our own shadow. We don't want the Christians, or we don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. We just want everybody to hold hands in kumbaya, and that's gonna listen. I'm telling you, you're betraying all your privilege. You're putting your white privilege all out there in the streets. When motherfuckers consider you the enemy, when they start fucking wars against you, you gotta fight. You gotta fight. And you gotta understand that it doesn't matter if you want peace. It doesn't matter. If those people have decided you are the fucking enemy, you gotta move accordingly. And guess what? Christians have decided that non-believers and atheists are the enemy. Don't you dare try to fucking gaslight me into believing anything else, okay? They say all sorts of fucked up shit about us. We're done. We're tired of it. And now we fight back. You don't get to fucking claim you have the truth and then lie. You don't get to claim you have the moral high ground and you're the holy fucking people and then you do all the evil shit. Okay? Fuck that. We're done with that. All right. I love y'all. I'll be back tomorrow for our program. Shout out to the mods. We love y'all. Y'all really hold it down for us. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, answer the question of the day, and leave us a comment if you're watching later. And of course, lock in with this community. Join the Discord. Come hang out in our virtual headquarters. And yeah, let's keep this thing moving. All right, love y'all. We will see y'all tomorrow for Hot Program.